Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We are here for game number 4 in this grand final between CDEC and Invictus Gaming, and it is MLP Dota and Dronix Fire. John, we're up to game number 4 now, my good sir. How do you feel?
I'm feeling great. It has been a real game of patience from both sides. A lot of games running late. Should be interesting to see how the draft does shake up. IG does open up the Morphling, not banned out this time, so they go for that hero, looking to force a game 5 on us. And we'll see whether or not that's going to be effective. They are playing up against a Shaker. You already have a very easy way to morph into Shaker, and you're going to have a lot of utility with that Morphling straight up.
You certainly are. Every time you see a Shaker and the Morphling is available, you just tend to pick it up. It just seems to be the way to go. IG, we'll see what they follow up with. They will indeed go with the Oracle, so a very, very strong opening for them, a very strong combination. And this Morphling already looks like it's going to be hellish to try and kill, while that Oracle's behind anyway. CDEC though, plenty of slots with their draft. They could always just try and pick up some kind of core that could zip in on the Oracle and take him out. We'll see those. It's still very early. Second pick for the Earthshaker.
5 seconds remaining.
What do you combo with this? What's your opening here for CDEC?
If it's going to be a support Shaker, you could still go for the Axe Core to counteract the Oracle pick here. I wouldn't be too upset. It might be a bit greedy, but it does give you a way of bypassing that false promise coming out, and it could be worthwhile to get that done. So I wouldn't be too surprised if CDEC went that way. It is just kind of greedy with a Shaker already. They do go with a Shadow Demon instead. That has been a consistent pick for them. It has done a lot of work so far. They really have maximized the potential of that hero. So I feel like that's a great pick to go into. Really fast ban in that Ember Spirit as well. Does look like CDEC, they have a game plan here. They don't want to be forced into game 5. If possible, they have the advantage. They want to clear it out early.
Yes, certainly. That Shadow Demon, I mean, I thought you wouldn't really see it without the Mirana. It just doesn't seem to matter, though. To be fair, these Shadow Demons have been making a lot of saves happen, a lot of turns in these fights happen with those disruptions coming out. We'll see whether they do try and go for some sort of combination with the Demon, but I don't really see much without the Mirana. Of course, the Lina was also banned out, which is one of those other popular kind of setups with the Shadow Demon, but you still do have the Leshrac if you are CDEC. You know that Invictus Gaming are going for a greedier lineup with this Morphling already, and I wonder if CDEC will take advantage and just go for that third pick Leshrac now.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too surprised if they did go for that. Would have slotted in quite nicely.
5 seconds remaining.
It does allow them to push quite a fair bit faster as well. But we'll really find out. That hero has been a consistent pick across all the games so far.
IG, they have a chance to ban it if they wish. They may just choose to get rid of the 1-2-3 clock again. Instead, no, they'll get rid of the Lycan, which is fair enough because we did see CDEC run a Lycan draft up against the Morphling, I believe yesterday or the day before that. So IG, they'll go for the Rubik pickup. Of course, there's an Earthshaker, there's a Shadow Demon. Already plenty of value with that Rubik. It's a fair pick. My question still stands though, do CDEC just go for the Leshrac core? Seems like a decent game for it, or you could just run it as the pos 4 as well and run the core Earthshaker instead. And they will.
Yeah. They just go for it. Straightforward pick, slots in quite nicely. You have the setup from the Shadow Demon. You have great push now. You really will make life pain for that Morphling early on. The magic damage will just eat right through him. So it's a solid pick for CDEC. I'm keen on seeing what else they have in store, and whether or not that's going to be Eve Leshrac once again. I don't reckon it's going to be too surprising if it is the case. Whether or not they're going to run that Shaker core is another question. So you have that flexibility in CDEC's draft now. Of course, there are a lot of good spells for the Rubik to steal. So IG can really just play around here. They go with the Tiny next. That leaves the question in mind, is it going to be Emo Rubik or an Emo Tiny down mid? More than likely going to be the Tiny. We have seen him play that before. But could still be the Rubik if you want to really toss it up a bit.
Yeah, certainly so. Why the hell not? We'll find out though. CDEC, fourth pick for them. I like the fact that IG is picking up some early cores, rather some early heroes to be able to fight early on and create space for that Morphling. It's one of the big downfalls with a lot of teams is they pick up these kind of position ones that require a lot of farm, but they don't have the lineup to create that space.
Dire team ban.
CDEC, well, they'll just go straight into the troll, and you don't have the Lycan, which would have been, I'm sure, their preferred option, but the troll still works very well. It gets online very early with the rest of the lineup and can fight very early on. IG, they're still set up to take on this troll warlord, but it certainly looks pretty decent for CDEC as it stands right now.
10 seconds.
Definitely does. My biggest issue right now with CDEC's draft is they don't have the best response for that false promise. So even if you catch the Morphling out, if the Oracle's positioned just right, you're not going to find that instantaneous burst. You really have to lay it onto him, make sure you get enough damage done to burst him down after that spell. We'll see just how much commitment CDEC does have to shutting down that Morph. They should understand that. As mentioned, they have played against that before. So they understand its timing. They understand what they have to do to shut it down. We'll see how they close out their draft. Looks pretty solid so far. Good push, good fight. Same with IG. They can really bite a space for that Morph. They've
But
got
what
to set the pace with their mid picks.
What other options would you have, though? Like, apart from the Axe, what else would counter the Oracle?
It's really the Axe. I'd say perhaps something like heroes that do enjoy having people alive, so the OD just gets more and more int. That's one option. The Slark would just get more int stacks, as agi stacks as he attacks.
Right.
Those kinds of heroes do enjoy that extended life.
Fair enough. IG, they get rid of the Beastmaster as their final ban, which is fair enough as well, as 1-2-3 has been playing a pretty solid Beastmaster over the past couple days. CDEC,
5 seconds remaining.
seemingly looking for a mid or an off lane. They'll get rid of the Husker, they just don't want to have to deal with that kind of hero right now. And there's the Storm Spirit, and that's what I was kind of thinking, right? You just zip in, get rid of the Oracle straight away, and suddenly you don't have this issue of this false promise being available.
Yeah, it's a solid pick here. The backlines are pretty squishy. You don't have the best lockdown to keep that Storm in place as well. So you can get a lot of work done. Looking forward to see XM on that hero. IG, they've still got to clean up their lineup. Whether or not it's going to be an offlaner coming out or mid remains to be seen. I mean, you could still run that Tiny off if you want and have something else down mid for emo. But they really need something that you really want to draft around buying time for Morphling, get him that space. Perhaps something with a bit more control for that Storm as well could help the cause. I wouldn't be too upset with something like Underlord would be able to get that control down. You have great follow-up to keep them rooted as well. That's just going to cause a lot of issues for the Storm. But whether or not you're going to commit to that is another question. They go to Puck. So it's going to be the emo Puck. And that's going to be a nice one to watch out for. It does allow them to fight early, apply that pressure on the map. It's going to be the JT Tiny as well. And the Cocker-Rubik. That's going to be a pleasure to watch. Going to be a bombastic game 4. IG, of course, wanting to force us to game 5. They have that early aggression. They have that early damage. But CDEC, they've got a pretty even power curve. They've got good lanes coming out, good control. Arguably the better team fight outside of the Dream Coil from IG. And if they can start to get that snowball going for themselves, it's going to be hard for Fly to find that space. We saw him have issues last time on that CK. Took him a while to be online. If the same thing happens on his Morph, the timing could be completely off.
That is certainly the case. And I mean, look, before we had the XM Storm Spirit earlier on today, and it was very, very dominant as well. He basically carried the team. I wonder whether we'll have a similar performance coming out from XM on this Storm. So a lot of variables in this game should be very interesting to watch. We haven't had the pleasure of seeing the emo Puck very recently, so we'll see how he performs on this kind of hero. It does suit his playstyle though, that aggressive kind of outplay you playstyle that emo does just have. But this could be it for IG. They need to win this and force it to a game number 5. Of course, CDEC looking to 3-1 if they possibly can. This is really make or break for IG. We'll get into it.
Yeah, it's been a hard-fought series so far. All of the game has been pretty long. and all of them actually pretty tight for the most part. Despite certain gold advantages existing, it never really felt like a one-sided win. So both teams are evenly matched, and it has been quite the spectacle to watch. Like, the patience from both of them to really find those openings, the understanding they have of the game to know when to take fights and when not to has been pretty impressive to watch.
Interesting.
They go for a very early smoke on the side of CDEC as well. Nice deep wards being placed in that mid lane, and they barely miss out on Ollie, who was just walking past on the Oracle. 1, 2, 3, already scouting out, seeing if you can find someone at that same flame, but Fly. Just hide in the tree line. Knows something's wrong. Especially considering the fact that nobody's showing up down the bot banner in spot or bot lane. So yeah, at the very least, we'll be able to secure these 2 bounty runes. IG will do the exact same. It's going to be another one of those very, very even starts. No fights breaking out.
The battle begins.
1, 2, 3 is actually going to rotate down to the bot lane as that core Earthshaker. It's interesting. So they're going to keep Eve up at the top lane on the Troll. I would have thought they would have liked the Troll up against the Tiny, because it does seem like it may have been the easier matchup, but they put 1, 2, 3 in this pretty hard matchup. I mean, as a melee core up against the Tiny, it's really not easy.
Yeah, it definitely isn't, but I think they really want to apply that pressure on Fly more, and you can get a lot more damage out as Eve compared to the Shaker, who takes a few levels to really start applying that harass.
Well, disruption, Fly, gonna cop the split earth. That's a lot of damage. He does try to strength morph. It is not gonna be any good though, as the damage output is just way too high already from CDEC, and they'll find the first blood very early on.
Yeah, it's a good start for them. They understand what they have to do. Make this lane hell for Fly. Make sure this Morphling never gets online. And what should be a whirlwind and a tidal wave of a performance from this Morph just slows down to a puddle.
They're not really stopping this tri lane either for CDEC. Looks like they're just gonna maybe try one more time. Victoria gonna stick around before he rotates back down bot. Fly can't afford to get caught by that disruption again. Looks like they will spot Victoria out now. Fly just going to eat a tango. Gets disrupted up. James has the split earth, but the strength morphing was already there. They won't have the damage output without the troll, I don't believe, though. Fly is getting very low regardless. Still won't be enough. This is a very, very uncomfortable scenario for this morphling, who just seems like he's going to get no space whatsoever. They will TP James down, finally down to the bot lane. And now he should feel a slightly more comfortable in this top lane.
Yeah, you don't have as much of a kill potential with the Troll plus the Shadow Demon. You definitely needed the Leshrac there in that equation. But it does look like 1, 2, 3 did need some help down bot. So you have to relieve that pressure. Still, though, a rough start already for Fly. Still about to hit his level 2. It's been rather rough. He has a 2-level deficit right now.
The fortunes end up. It's Eve with Victoria. Should still be able to do pretty well in this off lane. Of course, we'll have a look at the mid lane where Emo is going to be up against XM, and Emo, at least for now, is doing very well in terms of last hits. 15 and 4 in comparison to the 10 and 10, or excuse me, 10 and 2 of XM. It's that very high base attack coming out from the puck that is very frustrating to play against, as Eve, top lane, does find Ollie. So just the Shadow Demon and the Troll is going to be enough, apparently, to take down this Oracle. And Fly trying to contest that neutral farm, but is going to get none of it.
Yeah, it's looking bad to worse right now for IG. They're not getting as much done up here top as you'd expect. It's only 3-4 last hits now for Fly. Not the start you want in this morph. You're going to have to find a way to apply pressure onto Eve to stop this from happening.
Morph's one of those heroes as well. It doesn't have the greatest catch-up mechanics if you do get a bad start. I mean, at least he has the waveform to have a bit of mobility, but certainly will struggle if this keeps up, and Eve is not letting up. He just goes once again, starts harassing out Fly. Victoria's there as well. They're just not going to allow him to go. Just Shadow Poison's being stacked. Disruption is there as well. And Fly, he's going to try and fight a little bit against Eve, but he understands he is just dead. And at this stage, you kind of ask the question, do IG have to change the lanes up?
I'd say yes. I'd say you don't want your Morphling suffering this hard. We've seen it happen before. CDEC has made that consistently happen when they face this hero. But the bot lane doesn't sound any easier. You have a Shaker who's level 4. You can apply that constant harass with the enchant now. He has his Lush Wrap around for the chain stuns. It doesn't sound any easier down bot as it is up top.
Looking at mid lane, Kaka does make a rotation in as the Rubik. He will show himself, but he's just threatening XM, not allowing him to get close to those creeps. Meanwhile, top, Ollie will go down once again. As soon as he gets disrupted, he's just dead by Eve. Eve is now on 2 kills on the troll, still free farming in the off lane. Fly still only has 7 last hits and got nothing. He's died twice on this Morphling, he just has no option. Whirling Axe has come out, he almost drops again. And at least now Eve is sort of falling low, but he's got 12 one charges available. As well as that Tango that he just ate.
He's not going to be minding that too much. He's getting way more out of this lane than you'd want a troll to. This is a really good start. 26-11, only beaten out by that Puck, who does have that favorable matchup.
Well, looks like Karka's had enough, but now Karka's in trouble. He'll be chased up. Eve, he'll back off eventually after losing too much HP, but he will wait on the high ground. Seeing if they continue the chase, but they will not. Now, you'll just go Shrine up and do it all over again. I mean, Karka, he can't just sit at the top lane the whole time. He's got to rotate. Side of CDEC will know this as they do go back up.
He could be trying to go for something down mid. Kaka is sticking around there. They want to apply pressure on that Storm. He hasn't been as far behind as you'd want. Just about 3 last hits, although there are so many denies on Emo. But XM has been doing a pretty good job in at least keeping even in this lane.
Yeah, I mean, he's almost level 6 as well. Like, he might just find Karka now. Karka gets Vortexed up. There is a rotation coming in from Victoria once again. And there's just no way out of this for the Rubik. He'll Fairy Fire up, but the disruption is there. And XM will just put a Remnant down. That's a very quick 5-0, 6 minutes in for CDEC. I mean, the net worth lead isn't huge yet. And you still do have farm going out on the Puck from Emo. Even JT on the Tiny is doing pretty well at the bot lane. But they are really going to have to make some space for this Morphling going into the mid.
Gonna go on him again. Looks like James is in position.
He's got level 6 now. Fly? Understands he can't get close. He's not playing the matchup wrong. But mid lane, looks like they have poured out the Storm, but nice disruption will come out from Victoria to save, and there's the zip away. The Orb is going to follow XM, still trying to juke it out. It looks like he actually does as well. Emo doesn't realize he went south, and Karka will spot him out. Fade Bolt, he does place the Observer Ward for the Vision. Nice play from Karka to find the kill. And Emo can now dish more damage out towards his tier 1 tower. And meanwhile though, Ollie ends up going down on the Oracle up at top lane once again. So IG at the very least are sustaining on the other lanes.
Shit.
Radiant are scanning.
But Karka can rotate down bot now. He has been scanned out. Echo, 1, 2, 3. It's a lot of damage, and JT now gets jumped on XM. The Fate's Edict will save. And 1, 2, 3 is falling very low, but he throws out another Fisher. XM is out of mana for the chase, though. He'll allow them to leave. Nice Echo from 1, 2, 3. Just wasn't quite enough. Luckily for JT, he did have Ollie there to save.
They are applying a lot of pressure in that bot lane, though. That does force the supports to be down there, which opens up the side lanes. We do see Emo. He is trying to find something up top, but decides to go back mid. And this does leave Fly very vulnerable once more.
Certainly does.
Radiant's middle
Fly's just been around his tier 1 tower for so long now. They try to go into 1-2-3. They don't really get the lift off after the avalanche. And Fly. James is already trying to find the stun. Eve is just patiently farming and waiting for his opportunity once again. To be fair though, Fly has got 29 last hits now, so he's caught up just a bit. He'll keep going, as I think he's just going to rotate into the jungle at this point. And yeah, that's exactly what he does. Doesn't really have any other option now.
Yeah, he's going to have to find that slow farm in the jungle. This is exactly what CDEC was trying to achieve. And they are just basically slowing this guy down. He does have a ring of health coming in to help him with the cause. So he has some sustainability there.
Radiant structures are fortified.
1-2-3 at the bot lane. Does spot out Kaka, does spot out JT. They're both trying to apply some pressure on this lane. It looks like mid lane. Emo making a very, very large deep dive. Let me chase down now though. Nice Dream Call will stop them at least, and it will allow him some time to get away. And he'll just TP out. Victoria does not spot him out and can't go for the disruption. So Emo playing with fire, but it does pay off for himself. He'll fill up his bottle with bounty runes anyway. Basically, Emo, he can just keep going. There's no reason for him to back out to the fountain.
Definitely so. They could look to apply some pressure down bot, but 1-2-3 has been playing pretty conservatively. He's not going to be showing himself and does just leave the lane, go back down mid.
Kaka's going to make a little bit of a chase, but not going to find anything. Because top lane is being pushed in by CDEC. They understand there's no hero left here to defend. You may as well take the tower and try to apply some pressure somewhere else. This Fly has been relegated to the dire side jungle.
At the very least, they find that mid tower, so they've got control there. They can dip into that jungle. The issue is, no one from CDEC has really been jungling. They've been pretty active in the map. They are going to try to rotate down bot. 1-2-3 is all alone. That could be a target they easily pick off.
Yeah, certainly. So he has the Echo. They're going to toss a creep in. So giving vision, 1-2-3, gets avalanche, but the rotations immediately come out. Fisher going to be there on to Kaka on the Rubik. And well, Echo just to cancel off that TP. Make sure he can't get out. Victoria will pick up the kill on the Shadow Demon. And everyone else from IG are just out of there. The Earthshaker does remain standing.
It did take that commitment on the ult. Overall worthwhile in the end. That does stop the rotation. Stops the push coming out in that tier 1 down bot as well. So you have bought yourself some time here. While that's happening, Fly sees an opportunity to jump back in lane. Is farming up. And he's doing okay. It's not amazing. But he is ahead of the Storm. He is ahead of the Shaker. And that's something to be very happy about, at the very least, for IG.
Mid lane, there's a Dream Call on Tomb, but they're not going to follow up on that. XM and James, they just back out. Is this one of those games where Fly just has to kind of rush a Linken's? Yeah, it looks like he's queued it up anyway. I suppose that Linken's is going to be quite important. So Fly going to have to start off very defensive with this Morphling.
Radiant are scanning.
Nice scan coming out from CDEC. They did spot out the smoke, so they're not going to find Eve.
Dire's middle tower is
IG, they're still trying to find something. Get a nice deep ward in that jungle. Looks like they may just have to settle for that T1 bot tower. JT will get started on it.
Radiant structures are fortified.
While the rest of IG try to find something else. We'll just farm across different sides of the jungle. XM, he's not that far ahead on the Storm either. He's suffered quite a bit from the puck. He's actually 1.3k behind the puck right now and doesn't even have the Kyra up yet. He can't really get involved too much. He's going to kind of farm up as well. And I mean, the only person that really out-farmed everybody is the Troll being played by Eve, and that was just based on the lane he had.
He is matched up by JT though, and JT already has enough gold for that blink. So he's going to be the main aggressor for IG along with that puck.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Maelstrom. Need the pickup. Very early Maelstrom on Eve as well. It's going to really escalate that farm damage output coming out from this troll. It's going straight into that BKB next.
Dire are scanning.
Because he understands IG will be willing to fight with that Tiny, with that puck. CDEC just trying to secure their own farm. 1, 2, 3, almost at the Blink Dagger himself now. We'll back off at the perfect time as well, as the side of IG have started rotating up, but Kaka may scout him out anyway with that Invis rune. Excuse me, I believe that is actually a smoke and it does wear off. So 1, 2, 3. Good game sense. Picks up the blink and needs to get out right now as they are starting to surround him. Pings do come out. JT is going to circle. Does find him with the tree throw, and there's the avalanche. There's the toss back into Kaka. And that'll be an easily dead Earthshaker. But at the very least, he found his blink before he ended up dying.
Yeah, he doesn't lose too much gold there. You are giving Fly some nice gold with these kills, though. Don't want to give him any more than he can get.
Another toss in. Nice one by JT as well. Avalanche will be there, and Elizabeth will go down. Another kill for Fly. And he's actually got enough to afford his ultimate orb now, so the farm is certainly escalating for this Morphling.
Radiant's top tower.
CDEC, they had a great start, but they haven't really just kept him down. They didn't roam the jungle, they didn't ensure that he couldn't farm at all, and now they're giving kills away.
Yeah, this is great catch-up on Fly. The early tower kills really helped out as well. You're not seeing that same aggression from CDEC on these objectives. So the gold is pouring in, slowly but surely. They have a 3k advantage on IG. That's not good news for CDEC. Their lineup definitely wants to be online a bit faster, a bit earlier.
Oh, Echo, top lane, 1, 2, 3, straight onto JT. False Promise will be there from Ollie. They are still going to try for the chase on JT. And, well, he's salved up through the False Promise. He's looking pretty darn healthy, but they can still find this kill. But here comes the rest of IG. Kaka with the Still in the Pulse Nova. He'll turn it around onto James, but he's not quite as tanky. Nevertheless, though, Fly does find the Lesh. Emo with the Dream Call as well onto Victoria. They are still moving for more. Eve is just hiding in the tree line. He doesn't know what to do with himself right now. It's 1, 2, 3. Nice Fisher.
Oh.
Eve is still moving in though. He'll find Kaka, and actually he might get out of here. The zip is there from XM. They're going to try and turn Justice too. Eve, he still has the battle trance. He's not really afraid of dying right now. They somehow still managed to find 2 heroes even though they lost 3. Still though, a nice pickup from IG. They're looking great in all this.
They really are. Just building off of Fly. He's doing a lot of work despite that rough, rocky laning start. And he's 3-2-2 right now. But it doesn't seem that way, Mike. He is just lacking that Lincoln's recipe now. Just about. It's 1,000 gold away. Not going to be too fast, but it is going to be up at a good time. Even trouble now.
Yeah, Eve going down. Emo catching him out with the, well, it looked like a Dream Core, but it may not have even been that. Ollie with the Fortune's End actually rooted him in place. Purifying Flames will take him out as they do rotate down bot CDEC. Who are they going for though? They may try for JT on the Tiny. Not the easiest kill to try for, but it's the only one really on the map nearby to them. And JT, he does move very far forward, gets fished immediately, and with that, James just pops out of the tree line. It looks like he was trying to go after Victoria on the Shadow Demon, but does get punished for it quite heavily.
Yeah, rather unfortunate for JT. He's still buying a lot of space around the map. It does mean CDEC has not been able to find a bigger targets than Fly. And Fly is really just free farming. So all across, overall, IG should be happy with these kinds of trades. They are slowly delaying the game to the point where Fly is just going to take over. They do lose their tower. It's not the biggest loss in the world for them. I'm sure they're okay as long as they keep this game going. As long as they're not bleeding out in the Morphling. You are slowly but surely working yourself to a point where CDEC might not have the response to a farmed Morphling.
Emo. Got the blink up, looking at James. Does blink in, but doesn't throw the dream call out quite yet. Realizes he probably shouldn't chase by himself. Does get out of there. Rest of IG just kind of staying grouped up away from the morph. And while they've been doing that, Fly, he does now have the full Lincolns up. So he's going to be feeling a lot safer with himself. Victoria, they may find him out on the Shadow Dim. AT abusing that Shadow Amulet and now does blink in. Gets the Avalanche off with the lift from Kaka. It'll be a very easy pick off for JT. You know, CDEC, John, they've kind of slowed down on this aggression we saw from them earlier on. Like, it's 19.5 minutes in. They've been trying to farm up those BKBs, and it may be due to the fact that XM had a tough lane. But they've given so much time for Fly that it just doesn't feel like he had a bad lane at all now.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to cost them in the long run. If they can find some pretty big kills afterwards, that could be it. But Emo, he's also gotten a lot of form himself. He has that Dagon. No one has any way of mitigating that magic damage early on. That's something that's going to really hurt you.
JT, Avalanche does connect, though he gets stunned up and he's falling low, but there's the false promise. He tosses him back as well. James, still alive somehow, but does go down to the Purifying Flames. JT may also go down, and does. A 1-for-1 trade. Now both teams going to be okay with that. They'll both back off. IG, they lose that core Tiny, and that was actually a lot of gold going to the way of CDEC. They've still just got to wait out XM's BKB before they try and really take this full-scale team fight.
I don't blame them. If you want that security on your Storm, you want him to be able to jump that back line. If you can't, then it's just kind of pointless. Jump in, though.
Yeah, they're going to find this Shadow Demon. Victoria does go down. Now the Dream Call as well. They found a much bigger target in the Troll. But he doesn't really have any backup. So Emo may just have to let this go, but he continues moving forward. Fly is coming in on the Morphling. In fact, they know 1-2-3 may be around there somewhere, and they do find him out. Fish is coming out as well. 1-2-3 was standing there getting ready to turn. It did not work out that way. Good game sense there from Fly.
Definitely. So that is pretty big as well. A good steal from Kaka. They've got the Fissure up themselves. We've seen what Rubik's can do with a stolen spell. It's going to really change the way these fights break out if you're not careful with CDEC. And there is a smoke.
They do also scan out, just barely. Eve farming that Ancient. They should know where he's run to. They are making the chase. Meanwhile, XM does pick up that BKB now, so this could be some pretty nice timing if he wants to try and turn this engagement that's about to happen. They will actually run towards the shrine. James is going to be there to help out, but JT jumps him straight away with the Avalanche toss, and now Eve. Well, at least he'll be able to run out of there. No Dream Core was committed to hold Eve down.
It's a pretty big loss from CDEC. That was the BKB of Eve on the courier. He's not going to have that up. And that's a window of vulnerability that IG can exploit.
I mean, even just looking at Kaka on the Rubik, he'll have his Blink Dagger up pretty soon. As time goes on, it gets more and more concerning here for CDEC, as they're just not finding what they need to. Not with this lineup. IG really starting to press the aggression themselves. Mid lane, nice Fisher off onto the Leshrac. The Dagon coming out as well. Not going to be enough to kill off James. And Emo, they try to turn, but a very nice phase shift. Now XM jumps in on the Oracle, try to get rid of that false promise ability, but Ollie still alive. He does go down. Dream Coil was there, but it looks like James also goes down, and now JT. Avalanche toss on XM, but it's not going to be enough. Fly is chasing, but there's the BKB coming out, and now Fly, he'll also have to get out of there. So a 1-for-1 trade. Once again, the Leshrac and Oracle being traded. IG, they do force out that 10-second charge from XM on the Storm, but that'll be the end of that. Very even trade, but it does just favor IG.
It definitely does. They're still not losing any of their big heroes. They're taking control in these fights. CDEC forced to react, and this is not the way this lineup is supposed to work. This kind of lineup is supposed to be setting the pace, finding those kills themselves, forcing out the aggression. Now you have a level 3 Dagon on Emo. His burst damage is immense. I don't think that backline can withstand that damage anymore.
Sure doesn't seem that way. Gonna go for the Aghanim Scepter next. It's gonna make life a hell of a lot harder for CDEC as well. As you see Fly, looks like he's just going straight into the Ethereal Blade. And he already has pretty much all of it. Just a few hundred more gold for that Eagle Song. People are gonna start blowing up across the map. Meanwhile, I mean, you look to the Troll. He's got his BKB on that dead courier. It'll come out soon. He's going to have a Mjolnir up soon as well, but it just doesn't look like enough to really deal with what IG's putting out. And when that shotgun's available from the Morphling as well, Eve, he's not going to be able to pump out those right clicks.
Yeah, this is a big point for concern of CDEC. They've let Fly really farm his way up to the top. Shotgun is just about 800 gold away. 200 gold away, actually. It's up now. So he's going to be able to burst people down. Combine that with a puck. That's 2 heroes down. Your entire backline taken apart from one good jump in. And there's just not enough farm on CDEC side to really be comfy with that. They have to just take these fights before the spell usages can come out, before the item usages can come out, and burst down these heroes. But they haven't been able to find that opening. They're smoked up.
IG, start moving in.
Dire are scanning.
CDEC though, they could take advantage of Fly out of position, but a nice scan coming out from IG will reveal the smoke. IG now trying to bait Fly. May work as well as, yeah, they jump in with the Echo, but it's not going to be nearly enough. Now you turn, yeah, shotgun is there on the Earthshaker. It's not quite enough onto 1, 2, 3, but they will eventually find him as Eve now getting fished up by Fly. They move in for more with the Dream Call. They found the Leshrac, and James really has nowhere to go but down. They'll take him out. It's going to be a 3 for nothing, and the Roshan is also going to be available for the side of IG to take.
That's a surprising fight that CDEC chose to force out. And I'm actually not sure why they decided to go for it. It looked pretty obvious that it was bait in hindsight. Perhaps they were just kind of expecting Fly to be overconfident there. Still, costs them a lot. The Roshan is going to be big. It's going to be very hard to deal with any of these heroes at this point, as the lead does widen to 8k as well.
Dire's bottom tower.
While that was happening, XM, he was trying to split push that bot lane. JT seems to be aware he's there somewhere. He barely misses the avalanche, but he'll get the toss, and XM actually has no mana, but he can TP out. JT just stands there and thinks about what he's done.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Rather unfortunate that, you know, the combination didn't land, but you only have that one stun. And once the toss is out, of course, really easy TP. XM going to be very happy with that. He is about to hit his 20, so he's going to have a nice talent power spike there, but the real talent spike for Storm is that 25. And we have seen XM do a lot of work in slowing down that game when he gets the EXP. So if CDEC does manage to hold out through this rough part and get that max level on XM, they have a way of indefinitely stalling this game.
Fly with the team, feeling confident to go for that tier 2 mid tower. Fisher will be there to set up, but nobody follows up with it. Fly, he has the Aegis. He's not going to be too afraid to keep going. Is Zip in though? XM going again after the Oracle. Instead, we'll go for the Vortex on Kaka. False Promise is there just in the nick of time though. Ollie goes down now. James will follow up onto that Rubik, and Kaka should just be dead here. And he will be. The rest of IG did not want to continue pursuing. The cause just backed the hell out. Although, as I say that, JT, he does pop his Shadow Blade and he's going back in. Perhaps they can catch Eve off guard. Maybe even James on the Leshrac. But no, they had a sentry already down. Emo, though, jumps in with the Dream Call Dagon. James has been taken. And Fly will grab Victoria on the Shadow Demon, but now XM trying to go after this Morphling. Doesn't really have mana anyway. JT, nice toss back on the Troll. He does have Battle Trance available. Eve, he'll have to pop it straight away. The chase will be onto JT. Nice Fisher there from Fly though, holding down the Troll. And Emo will just Dagon him straight to the face. Now the Orb, chase down 1, 2, 3 a bit longer. Well, he tries the TP attempt. The toss is there though, and it looks like 1, 2, 3 will be another victim to the side of IG.
That's a massive win going for IG. They do manage to find all the big kills except for XM. Gonna be very happy with that. They can take this tier 2 down mid as well. So that does open up the high ground if they so chose. Doesn't feel like they will pressure. They're just gonna take this slow. They understand. They have that advantage. They still have the Aegis. They're gonna go for that tier 2 down. But a much easier target.
Yeah, that's exactly what they do.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Fly just does it himself. Nobody's really there to defend.
Radiant's
It's going to be another tower, more gold going to the way of IG, and now they have a 13k net worth lead for themselves. BKB up on the Morphling as well, so you really have no way to control him. And I mean, CDEC, they're still doing okay, but with this draft, it just doesn't really transition that well into the late game up against the Morphling. XM gets jumped by the puck. Dream Call there. Kaka with the lift as well, just trying to control him up. XM though will manage to survive. The rest of IG will get the hell out. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, looks like Fly is going to try and bait out again as JT waits behind the tree line. Nobody will take the bait from the side of CDEC. They learned from the first time. And it looks like JT may have to just pop the Shadow Blade and go hunting himself. But that depends on how far Fly goes. Looks like he is going to push it a little bit further. And we'll
You have to be able to respect the
James in position to break that smoke, but it seems like they know he's there and they will take him out very, very easily.
Nice clean pick-off going the way of IG. Of course, they do rely on James to get that setup going for them. They still have good control with 1, 2, 3. The issue is the farm has not been great for 1, 2, 3 this game. It's sitting at 7k gold. Less than Rubik. Not what you want to be seeing out of your core shaker here. But the farm has been tinned for CDEC.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Well, that's the Aegis expiring, but they already found that final tier 2 tower. They're going to be very happy with that. Got the Aghanims available on Emo as well. And now a Scythe of Vice coming up on JT.
Radiant's top tower
Got everything you could ask for. CDEC. I mean, I just don't think they have anything else left really in this game. It just looks really bad. That Scythe of Vice as well, just going to control up the Troll. You may not even get the Battle Trance out. And, well, nice blink away from 1, 2, 3. He may survive. Oh, Avalanche? No. JT, he only had vision for a split second. Couldn't quite get the Avalanche off in time. But what I was trying to say is, with this Scythe of Vice, things have gotten a lot harder for CDEC.
They've got to watch out for that initiation now from JT, or even just the follow-up. Even after the Avalanche toss is gone, he still has that Hex to play around with that is going to keep XM in his spot if he doesn't pop that BKB immediately. So I like that pickup from JT. Gives them a lot of control. And, you know, it does allow them to really take control in these fights. Not that they haven't been taking control anyway. They've just been all over in these fights. CDEC has been struggling to find that response. And they really need a lot more going for them here, as the Radiant side has been struggling quite a fair bit.
James. Keeping vision on the side of IG. JT is going to run up the hill. Throws the tree. Spot him out. Does get out of there immediately. IG though, they hold pretty much control of the whole map at this rate. CDEC just have to be careful wherever they go. They're kind of stuck in their base with little to no farm left. 18k net worth behind. That win probability, 77% the way of IG. They've still got the comeback potential, right? You've still got a Storm, you've still got a Troll, you've still got an Earthshaker with an Echo Slam. You can always turn these team fights, that's for sure.
Definitely, that's the one thing that is preventing IG from sieging that high ground. The team fight from CDEC is still pretty strong. Their high ground defense from the Shaker is formidable. You can't underestimate that. And the high ground just remains kind of unreachable because of that.
IG will take their time. Scotty will be up on Fly very, very soon. Be a lot tankier and a lot harder to deal with by that point. Of course, the Roshan will also be respawning in about 25 seconds. So it does look like they may have found themselves an engagement up at that bot shrine. Fly will BKB up and does come in. 1, 2, 3, they're controlling up Kaka on the Rubik. They do burst him down. Looks like Fly has not had enough though, and will grab James on the Leshrac. And JT, with that scythe device, does find the troll, but the disruption does come in. Emo tries to jump in and help out. Eve should be able to walk away from this. Be another 1-for-1 trade on those position 4s from either side. They won't be able to really find anybody else.
That's a really risky fight coming out from CDEC. They're going to be happy with whatever pickoffs they find. So trading a supports for a support, not the worst thing in the world. I'd say if CDEC is happy about that. Still, it's not quite enough, but if they can keep doing that over and over again, that could be worthwhile. That is one way to get back in the game. Just bleed off from those supports who are worth a considerable amount because of that net worth advantage that IG does have. They are going to go for Roche. There are no wards from CDEC to watch this. It's going to be an uncontested Roche. That double damage is going to speed up the process much more.
It's going to be an easy one at that. Fly getting very lucky with the double damage as well. Fly already queuing up that Aghanim Scepter on this Morphling, and that's going to be when things get super painful. Or CDEC, if he does manage to pick it up before the high ground push starts. But with this Aegis, he probably won't wait too long. In fact, I say that, but you do see 2 heroes TP up top, and XM will split push. JT won't be able to find him in time to cancel off that TP attempt.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
They really are giving XM the priority here for the tomes. They want that 25 up. They know they can delay this game if they have the remnants out, but it's gonna be a while. He's still about a ways out. Gotta wait for it. But that should give them a way back into this game. If they can stall long enough, they can try to build farm up.
We saw them with pretty big comebacks before. CDEC. It's going to be hard to find the farm, but if they can find one big team fight or get a win, rather, it can change everything. There's a 23k net worth lead, so one big team fight win for CDEC would mean everything. Still though, more BKBs coming out. You've got a blink now on Kaka on the Rubik as well. And so the game gets harder and harder. So IG does not slow down. It looks like Fly is probably going to commit to the Aghanim Scepter as well before they even attempt the high ground.
It's fair enough. It does give you a lot more to work with. Just turning into the Tiny is big at this point. So you will have that capability. And you'll have the tree volley as well for safe sieging. So there is a lot of utility coming out with that pickup. And IG just, they can take all the time in the world. You've starved up CDEC. They don't have any lanes to go into. It's just a slow choke out at this point.
Firefly. Double stun is there. XM gonna zip in. Eve is very, very low though. Battle Trance is popped just in time. JT will end up finding Victoria, and well, the Battle Trance doesn't really do too much. It will at least allow Eve to survive, but maybe not for long, as the disruption does save. But he does go down to Fly on the Morphling. Doesn't have buyback on the Troll either. XM gonna zip in, trying to find somebody to take out. False Promise will be there on JT though. And in fact, there's only 2 buybacks on the map right now. That's going to be Fly and Ollie. No one on CDEC actually has any gold to be able to buy back if they die in this engagement. So Fly will keep going on that mid-Rax. He has a secondary life in the Aegis. Looks like they may find him, though no, he does morph back into his normal self just in the nick of time. And Ollie's just keeping him healed up with these Purifying Flames over and over again.
Yeah, it's a straightforward push. They're trying with XM. It's not enough damage to stop this push from coming out. They have delayed it though. Just about 20 seconds out until Eve is back up.
Well, James will deny off that mid barracks and IG. They won't play around any longer. They got what they came for. And as I say that, JT again Shadowblades up, hoping somebody runs through that mid lane, but nobody will be there. IG, apart from that first 5-6 minutes of this game, have been super dominant ever since. Now the Aghanim Scepter is there on Fly, and well, things just got a hell of a lot worse, as you do have the tree volley available to you if you wish. You've got more things to worry about than that. You've got the enchant totem from the Earthshaker. You'll be able to jump around through these team fights and be so mobile in this Morphling.
We've only seen this kind of Morphling come out with the Ags and the Tiny at least once or twice. It's always been a pleasure to watch. It's just that IG so far ahead, I don't think they even need that strategy to come out. They've just taken over the map and they can just slowly siege this way.
Fly gets started on that T1. He actually just morphs into the Lashrak and takes the Edict. And that works very well as well. That is a very, very fast top racks being taken just by Fly. They jump in though. Echo is there, but the Fate's Edict, False Promise comes in. Now the Dream Core from Evo. He's just going to hold them all back. XM, he does get Ollie at the least, but Ollie already did his job.
Radiant's middle barracks.
So Emo will help Fly get out of there safely. They got the top racks, there's nothing to stick around for. They can just do that all over again down the bot lane.
Yeah, gonna be a straightforward time getting that push going.
XM does jump in onto JT. James is there to help, and they do TP to the shrine. JT will just BKB TP, but the ensnare from Eve, he does find it. A very lucky ensnare. JT gives him the avalanche toss. It won't be enough. IG, they do lose something in the end. I still think you walk away very happy if you are this dire side.
Definitely so. You didn't lose your biggest hero there. You just lost your Tiny. And that is some gold going back to CDEC, but you understand it's probably not enough. That's still a 33k advantage for IG right now. 17 to 24, 42 minutes in. They've still got this game under control, under their thumb. But they are still building up. I mean, you know, there's still at least one item slot for Fly that could get replaced. You have the 25 up on Emo, so he can start gifting whatever to any of his allies. And you can really still build up. There's nothing that's stopping IG from just growing bigger and bigger. CDEC, they've got to find some more momentum their way. They have been stalling out these fights quite nicely. With the 25 up on XM, they can just shove out the lanes comfortably enough. For the most part, it's not quite enough. You really need to try to find something for Eve. Try to find something for 123. He is just starved on the Shaker. Still behind that Rubik in terms of total net worth. And he's supposed to be a core. So he's just lacking the tools necessary to get anything done. Emo.
Yeah, he's just going by himself right now to James. Does pop the BKB, does orb out. It's like they did try to jump on him, but he just pops the BKB, gets the hell out of there. IG, they've already made their way down to that bot lane. They'll just take down the bot shrine first. CDEC, they've got to figure out a way to try and defend this last lane of racks that they have. They do loop around to the mid lane and try to find a pick off onto Emo once again. But he's such a hard target, and well, they find him. They do get the echo off as well. Emo is falling low and he does go down.
Ooh.
Went for that arcane rune, but it does cost him his life.
Can't afford to give kills away like that. That does give CDEC a way back in if they keep finding these. It's a lot of gold going their way. You are building up slowly but surely on XM. He is going to be a menace. We have seen what he can do in this with these late game storms. Of course, we've seen CDEC in these kinds of situations before. 2 racks down, they can still turn it around. You can't write off any team,
Well,
even though you're this far ahead.
yeah, Eve though, he goes down mid lane and it was a very simple kill at that. The shotgun into the avalanche toss was more than enough for the troll. Now they're looking for more. JT may have spotted out Victorian. Yeah, he did. Avalanche toss is there, and he should be able to pick this up, though. Disruption does come in. Meanwhile, you'll see XM jump straight into the back, go after Ollie. Glimmer Cape will not save him. He does go down. The team fight still continues as James is still trying to run away. He does eventually go down. The buyback was there, though, from the troll. He looks like he is coming back in, but Fly has strength morphed all the way now. He's sitting at 6.6k HP. And I have a feeling CDEC cannot get through that much.
Oh, definitely not. They do force back IG, but that did come at the cost of their buybacks. So it's going to be a very, very scary spot for CDEC now. Not going to have that recovery option in case they lose their course once again. IG, they understand that. They know there's an opening here. They're probably going to try to force their advantage and get those kills out on the buyback heroes. That will just pretty much open up the map for them to really get complete control. Perhaps get the mega creeps if they find a pick off here. They have to wait out just a bit as their oracle's not quite up. But they can be anywhere in the map now. There is no point where CDEC is in control of this map. Every area should be just fine. IG is going to be patient. Not going to be blowing that fuse just yet.
They do smoke up. Emo, be a nice target to find again. He blinks in as well, but he will orb out in time. Even gives him the Dagon as he's on his way out. JT now looking for some targets on the Tiny. Does blink in, they got a Hex off, they got the Earthshaker, 1, 2, 3, he's gone. Now Eve will be the target. Aghanim's Dream Call does come out and the morph is there as Fly. So Fly is getting ensnared up right now by Eve, but that is just the battle trance. He will eventually wear off, and now he's an easy target to take out, though XM not as easy. He's going after Kaka on the Rubik and does find him, but they get the Yules off. Nice Fisher is there from 1, 2, 3, but it looks like JT is going to make the chase once again. Meanwhile, they have found James on the Leshrac to boot. No buybacks on all 3 of those heroes going down for the side of CDEC. And IG, they are actually going to go back to that Roshan.
That's a very cautious play from IG. Perhaps they're not aware of the buyback on at least one of them. Still, they're showing a lot of respect here to CDEC. If XM gets a steal here, oh, that's going to be scary.
He's trying, but it's way too early. Gives himself some vision. Looks like he has been caught out though, Kaka with the lift, and now they should be able to just keep him down. Avalanche, no XM, he'll BKB up. But Kaka is chasing with his own zip now, and he does actually find him. He Glimmer Capes up, buys some time. There's the Dream Core, and XM is completely out of mana. And it's just all Kaka on the Rubik. They even toss him out of that Dream Core, keep him stunned up, and just Dagon him down. Oh my. On IG, they will go ahead and secure that Roshan for good this time. So I say that XM does buy back. He might try for this. He does not. He's just zipping in the base.
Yeah, and that's going to be a refresh up on the floor as well. IG have a lot of tools to play with here. as they siege that high ground once more.
Where do they give the refresher to? Oh, it's actually on Kaka
Right
right
now.
now on the Rubik.
It's on Kaka. It's sensible enough if he steals a big spell. Twice usage, like 2 times with fissures. That's pretty big. A lot of spells you can really maximize with that. Although I would prefer it on Puck, honestly. Double Dream Coil just sounds really potent. Yeah, there we go. They do give it to Emo. So the double Dream Coil is up. Double Dagons. Double everything. It's going to be rough defense here.
They're going to try XM, just zip straight through. Oh, they found the Dream Call right in the back by Emo. And Fly will go straight onto James, but won't quite find the kill. And now Fly, he's getting quite low on the Morphling. He's lost the Aegis. Kaka will blink in, trying to help him out. He'll get the lift off onto 1-2-3. Meanwhile, Victoria does get the purge on JT and Eve. He just wants the Tiny. Kaka, though, finds XM on the Storm, it seems, and Eve, well, he'll find JT on the Tiny, or maybe he won't quite yet. He'll transition towards Fly, but Emo will take him out with the Dagon. No buyback on XM, nor the Troll, and they'll call the GG. It's been a tough game for CDEC. They try to push it as far as they could, but without buybacks, they cannot drag this on any longer. And IG will force it to a game number 5.
Yeah, look, CDEC, they had a really good start. They understood what they had to do in that laning phase. They couldn't keep doing it into that mid-game. They gave too much space to Fly for him to come back in, and it really just fell apart from there. So props to IG for managing to find that opening. And Game 5 is going to be here, Mike. All 5 games for best of 5. What a way to end that qualifier.
Yeah, lucky us. We'll get to see that Game 5 very, very soon. Of course, we are going to jump into the lobby very soon as well. So it is MLP Dota and Jonix Fire. We'll be joining you guys in just a few moments for that next game. Won't be too long, guys.